Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back. And today, as you can see, we're going to be doing some Christmas crafting. Now this is something I've never done before because I'm actually filming in the middle of August on what may well be the hottest day of the year. And here I am doing Christmas. I've never done that before, never started this early. But I've decided to follow the challenge series set by Dee Dee Farago, where she's doing Don't Freak Out Before Christmas series. You may well have watched it, you may well have followed along. But I'm going to do it on camera, starting today. She makes 3 videos a week, and in each video she makes a different pocket, and then she makes 3 copies of that pocket in different papers. I've decided to do just one video and make one of each of the pockets in the one video, so I'm kind of condensing the week into one video. And I'm going to use this Stamperia pad. It won't be any surprise to any of you that I'm using Stamperia. This is the Christmas Greetings paper pad. I saw this recently on Amazon and I thought, oh, I really like that. I think when I was thinking I might do the series, I thought I'd see what they'd got in the way of Stamperia Christmas papers. Saw this pad and the matching background pad, and I thought, well, that'll be perfect. But as it happens, this one came and the other one hasn't arrived yet. And when I looked in my Christmas box to see if I had anything else I could use, turns out I bought it last year as well. So I'm going to have 2 copies of this pad, which makes me happy because it means I can cut into this and not think, oh, I might want to use that later in the year. So I'm going to just use it willy-nilly, and I've still got another one coming. So having said that, so that's what we're going to use. I don't quite know which one I'm going to use for which pocket yet. I thought we'll decide as we go. So I'm going to show each of the pockets that we're going to make. So I've done a kind of prototype with all my measurements with using just a blank envelope. And this is a finished one. So I'm making myself a prototype with non-Christmas papers. So this, it could be Christmassy, but this is another Stamperia paper pad I'm using to make the pockets and finish them off so that I can use them in other projects. They don't have to be Christmas. So I'm going to be doing, all my prototypes will be done in a non-Christmas paper as well as doing the Christmas ones on camera. So I think we should get started because I think it might take me quite a while to make these. I'm hoping I've got all my measurements correct. And the first pocket just requires one of these window envelopes, one of the, I think DL size maybe you call it, I don't know. It's sealed. Yeah, it's pretty well sealed. I think I glued it. So I think what we have to do first, now I've got to do it this way round. I've just put my paper so it's not too distracting on the side. So I've just got to do my folding. So where do I fold it? And I want to make sure I fold it at the same place, otherwise my measurements won't work, will they? So I'm just going to grab a pen and mark where I folded this one so that I can fold it in the same place and get the measurements for the papers right. So let's do that. So we're going to fold it up and about there. Should be about right. All right. Yeah, okay, that's close enough, I think. Right, so we've got that folded up, and then we need to, I've got to try and remember now how she did it. When you put it back, that's right, you fold it, so you get your fold, then you fold it back, and then you fold your corner pocket. So it can go either way. This one's going this way, so I think I'm going to do this one. Although, where's my other prototype? Actually, the other one I went the other way, so I think I'll do this one the same as this one. So you fold it on this corner, and you match it up with, this corner has to be folded too, right onto the corner, and then up to this corner. it's a kind of a slightly funky looking fold, right up to the bend, like that. Okay, and then we cut that off. Right, so I've kept my cut-offs. I'm not sure if she's going to reuse them, but if I throw them away, you can bet your bottom dollar she will have thought of something to do with those, so I'm keeping them. And they may turn up later in the series, I guess. Right, so now we have that pocket. It's the same as that pocket. Now we come to, let me just see if this was open or not. Yes, that one is open at that side, so I need to just trim this along the edge. Well, maybe I'll use my little cutter just to make sure I get a nice straight cut. Fold that down there, because we have to put some paper on the inside, don't we? Make sure it's open. Yeah, I may just have to reseal that at the top there. Okay, so now we have that ready. Now we can start cutting our paper. Right, so for this pocket, I think because I want to use both sides of the paper, I'm going to choose one from this pad, which is the background selection. I was a bit disappointed when I first saw it, because to me that isn't Christmassy. So some of these papers don't look all that Christmassy to me, but this one is. So I think I'm going to choose this one. I think that's lovely. And I think the background one will be fine in there, because it's only a little window. So I have struggled a bit with this challenge, partly because my envelopes are different to Dee Dee's. They're about the same size, but the windows are very different. So my folding is inevitably going to have to be different. So this one needs to be 11 centimetres. So I think I'm going to be using a combination of centimetres and inches, for which I apologise, and it may be a bit confusing, but only because my envelopes, sometimes the sizes in inches, which I would normally use, come up at like 3/16 or something, and that's quite difficult to measure on your trimmer. But if you do it in centimetres, it's a bit easier, a bit more straightforward. So I've got 11 centimetres by 13.5 centimetres. That's the piece that's got to go inside. So we'll start with that. So, hang on, I can't see. That's 11, I think. 11. Yep. By 13.5, and hopefully that will fit inside. See, most of these trimmers will have both, hopefully, on them, so you'll be able to figure it out. 13.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's there. Yep. Okay. Let's see if that works. Looks a bit wide to me. No, it's not the right one anyway. Is that right? It will be. Let's try it. Actually, I'm probably going to use that side inside. Yeah, it's a touch wide and a bit don't think it's too long, it's just not got to the top. Are we too long? Yeah, we're a little bit big. I'm just going to have to trim it a touch. I think I'll use my other little trimmer. Be a bit quicker. A little bit off. As usual, my measurements leave something to be desired. Hopefully that will now work. Okay, so that's good. And then we'll use the rest of the paper to cover the rest. So I need a piece that's so that's 13.5, that's 13.5. Okay, so I'm going to do 2. I'm going to measure this at 13.5, maybe a bit less, as it seems to have been a little bit on the long side. For some reason, even though exactly the same pocket, same envelope, but for some reason it's coming out a little bit. A little bit long. So I don't know whether I need that piece, but and then we want one that's 17 millimetres wide. I'll have to do that on here. That's the thing, is I have to use both because this one only goes up to 5¼ inches measurement, so anything bigger can't use it. 17 millimetres it was. So 10, that's 17 there, I think. No. There. It's got to be quite narrow. I'm going to just make it just a little bit wider. That goes on there. And the other one has got to be, so if you were making these, I'm sure your windows or your envelopes would be different sizes to mine, so you'd have to do your own measurements. And that's what's taken me all this time to work out, because my envelopes and my windows are different to Dee Dee's. 5 centimetres and 8 millimetres. Yeah, it's a bit of a funny size, but easier than the equivalent in inches, I believe. That one. So that goes there, and that goes there. Then we've got to have pieces going across the other way. So this one can be, yeah, it's almost the right size, isn't it? So that one, 2.5 centimetres. Off too much now. Hopefully that's right. Close enough. By 11 centimetres. 11? No. Oh, yes, that's right. Okay, that goes there. Oops, and this one goes here. So let's glue those all on. And then, so far we haven't got many scraps, any odd bits. I'm just got to do this piece then. And I'm still wondering whether to turn it around, do them the other way around. Put that on the inside. Let's just decide, because then I can have the red on the pocket, which I like. That way. Which way is this? That one? No. Which way around was this one? That looks too big. That way. That way. That way. No. I've got to remember to get these the right way around, haven't I? Alright, we'll figure this out. I'm going to put this one inside. Still wondering if it's... Yeah, that's about right size. Okay. First of all, I need to just make sure that this bit is glued down. That's it. Oh. I have refilled my bottle and it's coming out in big blobs now. Yeah, so I did follow Dee Dee's challenge in 2021, I think. I don't know if that was the first year she's done it. I know she's done it every year since, and I haven't followed it so much. But I did make a lot of the pockets that year, but I didn't do them on camera. I did them all off camera, and then when it came to doing my journal that year, I used quite a few of them then, and I think I've used some of them in other years as well. So doing it on camera feels quite scary really, because some of these pockets are a bit fiddly. Got it in. Got as much on me as I did on the pocket, but it's in. And it folds up, so that's good. Right, so which way round did she do those? I just had to trim a couple of these because they were just covering the pocket too much. I still feel like I've not got much of the pocket showing, but that's okay, because then we're going to do this and lose a bit more of the pocket anyway. So now we've got to cover that one. So I'll take the rest of that paper and we'll at it to, where's my pen? That along the top, about there. Right, so we want it like that. So I'm just going to glue it there. Glue the flap. Make sure I glue it right up to the fold line. Check that there's no white showing. Nope, all good. I struggled with that when I was doing my prototype. And then we just trim off this bit. Didn't do that quite right, did I? And then we can glue that up. First of all, I'm going to ink it. Ink the back. On my prototype, I did actually line it with some more paper on the back. I'm not going to do that today. I really don't like it. I'll do it afterwards, off camera. What's this bit doing? Don't want to escape. Get the ink inside. Hopefully you won't notice the blue interior of the pocket of the envelope. Just want to glue it up now. Seal it up. So, yeah, that's turned out lovely. So we have a pocket here, and that needs inking along the back there, I think. Let's just cover up that bit. Pocket there, and we have two pockets here, one there, and then one behind it as well. So, and then you can always make it a side pocket or a top pocket, whichever way you want to glue it in. So yeah, I've got that one, and this one going the other way. So you can do it either way. Oh yes, well, her paper didn't reach the top, so she just squared that off. I've left mine as it is because I forgot about that, but that's fine. I don't mind it like that. So that's fine. So that's one done. It's only taken me half an hour. Hopefully I can get the other two done in the same amount of time, but I will do my usual speeding up, I think, just to get through them all. Now the next one, there we go, let's do this one. So we need this one of these bigger envelopes, one of these big sort of, I don't know what size this is. This envelope, and I'm sure, I mean I've got lots in this size, I think it's a fairly standard size. So it is, using my T-square today, it works quite well. 6 and about, between 6 1/4 and 6 1/2. I told you the measurement in inches sometimes a bit tricky, and 9 1/4. So for that one, let's put, is that this one? I'm getting confused now, that's that one, that's got to go, oh that's that one. Okay, sorry. So for this one, we're going to start with this pocket. So this is a side tuck, and there's a pocket up here. And again, you can put something behind it, depending on how you glue it in. This is my measurements. Now the first thing we need to do is cut this way at 6 inches, I believe. Yes, 6 inches. So let's do that. Going that way. This one we're going to use for our third pocket, so I'll put that to one side. Yes, so we need the open side on this side. This is the side, I mean her windows are massive, but mine are not. So I'm going to turn it this way and fold it up for the pocket. Now I'm going to have to measure this for this one because I think this is a slightly different. No, have I got it the right way around? Hang on. No, I haven't. Oh yes, it's going to be that way, but I'm folding it like that. That's right, just so I can fold it straight sideways. Okay. And this bit measures at what have I measured this one at? So it's at 3.5 centimetres. So I've made this one this one's a bit smaller, look. I've turned it, folded it up a little bit more. Right, pretty much to the edge of the window really. Okay, and then I need to trim this down here so that this bit measures 4.5, because otherwise it's going to be too wide. So I need to measure that to 4.5 and trim that. This is just because my pockets are open and are just a different size, and this was just too big because I couldn't, because the other one I think Dee Dee's had a bigger window, so it didn't need to be trimmed down, but mine does. So this it all folded differently on hers. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to mark that at 4.5 there, because then it will need to be resealed. Because mine are open because they've been used. I think I can put that in at 4.5 about there anyway. That's about right. Half. So I couldn't cut it before until I'd folded my little side tuck, because I didn't know where 4.5 would come to. So really we just want our pocket to be 4.5 wide once it's been folded. So we started off with a pocket that was that way round, cut it at 6 inches here. Now it's the width there, but now it's going to be the height. And we fold up our side piece, and I've trimmed it now to 4.5 wide in total. I hope that makes some sort of sense. So now what we've got to do is put a piece inside, which should be 6 inches by 4.5. Oh, I've got to choose my paper, haven't I? Because I need another one which is double-sided. So I'm going to stick with this, I think. And what can we use that looks Christmassy on both sides? Oh, this is a nice one. Yes, I think I'll use this one. So we're going to cut this to 4.5 on width. Four and a half. This feels a bit funky, it's not lying flat, that's better. Four, where are we? Oh, it only goes up to 4. It's so small, this one. My old one went up to about 5.5 before I had to pull the arm out, but this one is a bit smaller. So we've got 4.5 width. That side, and we want 6 height. Just taking it a tad under. Gorgeous, isn't it? So that's that one. Let me just check it fits. My measurements always seem to let me down. Oh yeah, I could put that in and then seal it, couldn't I? That made life a bit easier when it comes to gluing. I'm going to have to take a bit more off because this is going to need to be sealed shut, so I need to just take a touch more off. I can see what I'm doing better on this on the little one when I'm doing small bits. I just need to take that in. Touch. Okay. So that's to go in there. Then we need 6 inches by 3.5, just over 3.5 centimetres. Let's do that. No, sorry. I need to use this one. Is going to be easier. 3.5 and a bit. Is that right? Oh. Why isn't it? Oh, maybe that wasn't. That should be 6 inches. And it's not. Why isn't it? That's interesting. Oh well. I'm going to use it for something else. So that's the right, kind of the right width for there. Yeah, it's not tall enough. I'll use it for here instead. Turn it over, mark it. Might be just easier than trying to go with the measurements, mightn't it? Right there. And looking about there. Okay. That's my mark now. So I've got that piece. Right, I've realised that my envelope was just a touch over 6 inches, which is why my piece of paper did not fit. So I'm just going to do what seems to work best and mark it. That piece there. Now, have I got enough? Oh yeah, be enough for that piece as well. Right, let's do that. Right, so that bit goes there, that bit goes there. We've got the bit for across there. We need a piece for here, don't we? That's the inside piece. I've got this couple of odd bits here. So that should be 4.5 by what? Mark it with my pen. Okay. To see if it's straight. Don't think it is. Better. By 4.5. There's 4.5. It's there. That bit should go there. Okay, that's spare bit. So now we just need to decide, is this going to colour on the outside, or we're going to have the darker blue on the outside and the other colour on the inside? You never see Dee Dee agonising over which way round to use her papers, do you? I'm going to go like that. with that on the outside. I think so. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. Yeah. Yep, okie dokie. Do some gluing. So it's still going to be still needs, I think this is still too wide. Is it too wide? Could still be a little bit wide. Once I've glued my pocket shut. Alright. Let's make sure everything here is as it should be. Yeah. This is not glued down. Right, I'm going to glue this in first, then I'll glue the pocket shut. Right, so our third pocket is the piece we cut off of the bigger pocket, this piece, which I'm going to need to re-glue. And this is the pocket we're making. I think she's made this lots of times. And I think it's going to be a bit simpler, perhaps, than the other pockets. Except, of course, I'm going to make it complicated because I want this to be on it. And therefore, I've got to cut it perfectly. So I'm going to just see how we get on. Just because I really wanted to use some of this actual Christmas bead as well, so I'm going to cut it a bit wider than I need, just to make sure I can fit on my reindeer. So the size needs to be 3 3/16. So I'm going to cut this top piece off. And I've got that for something else. Then I know it needs to be 6 and, hang on, where's my measurements? 6 1/4 high. Right, so we go down to 6 1/4. 6 1/4. So that's the height. Check that's correct. Yes, it is. Now it's getting the width right. And we need it to be 3 3/16. I told you some of the measurements were a bit funky. So what I'll do, I'll make sure I've got his nose in. Because I think it's going to be right to the edge. And then we'll measure 3 3/16 from there and hope I don't lose too much of his antlers. So yeah, do it this way. 3. So this one doesn't really do 16ths. I think that's an 1/8. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's an 1/8. So it's a half of one of those things. So that's 2, and that's 3, roughly. So I'll just take that off there and hope that's the right width. Let's hope. I maybe could have taking it over a bit further, but some of it's going to disappear anyway. Okay, yeah, I think that's going to work. Woohoo! Okay. Get in there. Alright, so we need to give this little bend in the middle so that we line up, and I've already done it on this. So give it a little, just to mark the middle, and then we glue it on. Glue it on here. There we go. Eventually this glue will start to flow, I think. I think it's just because it's a bit too full. And I think it's clogging up in the nozzle. I don't know. I don't know if that's what the problem is. But we'll see. See if I can get it to come out a bit more. That's better. It's usually so good, this glue. Flowing. Right. Whoop. Thought I got the size right, but it looks like it's a bit off. Never mind. We'll figure it out. I'll make sure I line it up that side, because that needs to be correct. And if I have to trim it a bit the other side, then I do. Got it on, so if I have to trim this a little bit to make it all fit together, so be it. Okay, now, ooh, I have a hole. I'll have to cover that up when I didn't spot that. That's where I've torn open the envelope, I suppose. So I've got a little hole here which I'll have to cover up. I'll do that afterwards. I'll use another bit of envelope. Have I just used the one? I've just used the one that had my measurements on it, haven't I? Did you see me doing that? Using the wrong one? Yeah. Never mind. It was the same size. I'll just have to make sure I put the measurements on here, won't I? For a future reference, 6 1/4 by 3 3/16. There we go. I didn't think there was a hole on the one I was going to use, but there we go. So now we have to, where we made that fold, kind of just to mark the middle, and I see where it is. Do it again. Yep. We cut up about 1 inch, so I'll just cut up nearly to his bottom. And fold it back. Open up the pocket. Let's get my bone folder. Make sure it looks about the same. Near enough. That's why I didn't want this too far over this way, because we'd lose too much of him. And I'm going to have to cover, I think. So I don't like the blue on this one. I will put some paper on, but I won't do that on camera. I think you don't need to see me struggling with that. But I will cover it, possibly with some book page or something like that. Something thin, just to get rid of this blue. But in the meantime, I will do some inking, just to make it look a bit finished. Yeah, I might do some, maybe even some music paper, because that's always quite good at Christmas, isn't it? It's quite Christmassy. A little bit of fixing to do on this one because I used the wrong envelope, but never mind. Or the wrong bit. Okay. Pocket number 3. So where are they? Here are our three pockets for this week. Hopefully I'll get a bit better at doing this. These have been a bit of a struggle. I do find these envelope ones more challenging, perhaps, than some of the others. But in the end, I have 3 pockets. Woohoo! And I really like them. And I have 3 spare ones as well to use in other journals. So that's it. Video done for this week, and I'll try and keep up with this series. I don't know how it's going to work out, whether I'm going to have time to film every week that she does, and I might just pull together a couple of weeks into one video. I just don't know how it's going to pan out over the next few weeks, but I'll do my best, and then we'll have a little collection of pockets ready for our Christmas journals. Okay, thank you for joining me. And I'll probably be uploading this, sorry, I should have said, although I'm filming it now, I'm not going to upload them till about probably end of September, beginning of October, because I don't really do Christmas things before then. I'm just kind of getting ahead. So this will probably be beginning of October. I think these will start to appear, or earlier if I've managed to film lots of them, which is unlikely somehow. Okay, so see you then. Bye for now.